Joining me right now is newly signed Bellator Featherweight, Janay Harding. How are you doing? Welcome to Kumite Radio.
Thanks, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. First of all, I was wondering, why did you choose Bellator over, let's say, the UFC or Invicta or any of those other promotions?
To be honest, like I had that Contender Series opportunity, and the visa fell through, and so that was almost like a sign for me, because then not long after, Bellator got in contact with us, and I ended up thinking about the kind of journey that would open up and the pathway that would make for me, and I thought that it would be probably maybe a better option, if not the same, and that was the opportunity that arose at the time, and I was like, this would be a great opportunity. They seem to be gravitating towards me in a way where they're going to give me heaps of exposure, build me up to the level that I want, and give me the experience that I need. And in that retrospect, I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, and that's a really good pathway I want to take.
That pathway is the best pathway. Is like when they offer you something, you have to think like, how are they going to promote you? You know, because a lot of promotions, they might just say like, we're this promotion, you should sign with us, but Bellator must have some kind of plan for you.
Yeah, like when we were in talks at the very beginning, they were like, we'll give we have a certain kind of level that we expect, and we'll introduce her in an international fight or something like that, and then maybe fly her over as a guest appearing at certain other events, and that would be really good, obviously, for my exposure and broadening my fan base and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, that would work out really well, and then it seemed like they were kind of just going to smoothly give me what I was looking for at my level at the moment and the experience that I needed, and then that would all build me up and put me at a good place by the time I came out of maybe that contract or in 3 or 4 fights, and I'll feel a little bit better and a little bit more confident on that big stage, and it would be a really good introduction.
You spoke earlier of the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. Of course, you had to withdraw because of the visa issues. How disappointing was that, or do you feel that that was a blessing in disguise?
At the time, obviously, didn't really feel like a blessing, but because it was only like a week or that week that I was meant to be flying out, because it was on a Wednesday. It was a bit of a funny date schedule, but now when looking back, I think it was a really good blessing. I definitely think if I won the fight, I would have secured myself a UFC contract. There's no doubt about that, and the person that replaced me did, and all that kind of stuff. But I can't do the ifs and buts and maybes and all that, and dwell on what may have happened when I was having a pretty bad cut, to be honest, and dealing with the different kind of environment in Thailand, different weather and all that sort of stuff. I don't think, looking back on it, it was actually the best thing for my body, and I was retaining a lot of fluid, and there was some obstacles that I was thinking, oh, maybe it wasn't the best place for me to be kind of hitting up Dana White and Sean Shelby sitting and Mickey Maynard sitting there watching me fight. So I don't know if I would have actually performed to my full potential. Whereas now I'm back home, I'm back in Australia. The weather's like working better for me. My food and my diet is all working a little bit better, and I feel like it's making a big difference, and it's going to be a lot better on my performance. So in a way, and with this new Bellator contract, it is a bit of a blessing in disguise.
Australian MMA is blowing up crazy right now. Not just the men, you know, it's the women also that are coming out there. You got so many names in Bellator and the UFC, Invicta. What makes you different from every single one of those other fighters that are coming out?
Yeah, for sure. And it's been one of those things where when I was coming up in MMA and on the MMA scene, I was looking up to all these people like, man, they maybe have the same record as me, and they're shooting up this way, they're shooting into different scenes and different promotions, and I was at a point where I was like, oh, maybe I'm falling behind, and now I'm on my big stage and I've got my opportunity. I think it's perfect timing, to be honest. I think it's really good for me. I've watched everyone else. I fought everyone else as well. I've been at the highs and lows of Australian MMA, and I've really experienced a lot in my small career. So I think the difference is that I have definitely learned from the mistakes of other people, and I think I'll move a little bit further forward by taking it slow and by being a little bit behind, I guess, in a way, whereas I'll make the right decisions. And then going forward, I think I'm really going to make a big stage, like big stand when I make my debut and everything like that. So I think it's going to be really positive.
Yeah, if you look at your record, you don't have that many fights, but the names that you have faced are huge names in MMA right now. You know, you got
Yeah.
Arlene Blencow and Jessica Rose Clark, even Megan Anderson. What did you learn
Yeah.
from those fights? Because those people are at the stage that you want to be at right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think each one, like, Megan was my second fight, and obviously we both didn't. It was her second fight as well, so we both didn't expect her to be on this massive stage that she is now. But I think the choices she made, and she reached the rewards now, and she made a lot of great decisions, and she put the work, and I think that's really awesome. And obviously that reflects on me now because it's someone that I've fought, and so it's like like a bit of a domino effect in that kind of way. Jessie like has also turned a corner her career. She's been pushing out a lot of doors, and I think finally that's open for her. So that's really positive in that retrospect, and then it reflects on me again. And to be honest, I think it just like it's given me a lot of like ways to kind of establish where I was at in my career. I think when I like every person, I was at a different spot. I mean, Jessie, I was 1-0 pro, and I was going against the best in Australia and New Zealand. I knew she'd fought internationally. So it was a bit of a jump, but I knew that I needed those kind of names and I needed those kind of fights to be at the level I wanted to be. There's no point fighting like a couple more Australian amateurs to then go straight overseas and get thrown in the deep end. I think that was definitely a good choice for me. And it showed me that I can definitely stand at that level. And I was really, like, it was a really good performance. So I feel like each person has definitely taught me that I deserve to be where I am, and that I'll hopefully just surpass all of these people in my own way by earning my own keep. So,
You know, facing that level of competition, does that allow you to, in the future, when you step into the cage, have, you know, your nerves? Does your nerves kind of like mellow out more because the person that you might be facing is not at the level of the people that you have faced before?
yeah, it is like it's one of those things. Like now, the challenges I'm getting and everything that gets put in front of me, I'm like, I've been there and I've done that, or even worse, I've had like a worse situation before that, or maybe I've taken Arlene Blencow on 2 weeks' notice, or whatever it is. Like it's not gonna phase me as much, and it definitely is preparing me for these massive endeavors that I'm going in. I'm still going in as the underdog, and I've been the underdog for like my last few fights, and I'll probably keep doing that for a long time, no matter how many wins I have. But in that way, it doesn't faze me because I've been there before. It's all part of the game, and I'm kind of getting used to proving people wrong and proving people that I deserve to be there, and that it's not like maybe my record doesn't prove my abilities, but it will definitely show in my performances. So it'll be good.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the times the record, you can't really rely on that too much because you have to look and dig deeper and see like who has this person faced, because you know a lot of these people are walking around with these padded records. They're like 15-2, and when you go look back, it's like, who did they face? Nobody's. They were facing debuts their whole career, right?
Definitely, and that makes a big difference in like they may have like 5, 6 belts on these shows that nobody knows about, or whatever's happening, and it's like, oh, it's not really, you can't really compare it anymore, and you know that once they hit the big stage or once they hit those international fights that they're not really going to prove their abilities because it's going to get dulled out by the fact that they may have already pre-padded their record. But for me, I think it's good because a lot of people that do support me have looked at my record and understand where I've been and where I'm at now in my career, and have seen like maybe even watched the Jessie fight and all that sort of stuff, so they know what happened there. And I think it like makes a big difference now that I'm not just my record, and I'm not seen as my record, and I'm seen as getting these opportunities but deserving them as well, which makes a big difference.
Definitely. Now, May 12th, Bellator 199. You just missed Bellator 200, right?
I know.
Did you want
Talk
to
to
be
me
on
about
that card?
100%. I was like, oh, I just came back from the UK in January, so we were pretty keen on heading straight back there, and I've been to London twice now, so we were like, oh, that would be awesome to go back and I could go train with the team I was at in Edinburgh. But and they were in talks, but yeah, I guess they just had too many people on that card. And I know with Bellator, everything happening at the moment, I was like, had my fingers crossed, but unfortunately didn't make it through. But I'm still happy to go over to America. I haven't been to San Jose before, so it's still going to be a great experience, and it's still a really cool card. So, you know, you get.
What makes debuting in America so exciting for you?
To be honest, I didn't expect to debut in America. We had a lot of talks about me debuting on an international card, whether it be Rome or London or somewhere like that, or Budapest that they just had. But so when I got the call saying that I was locked in, that I was going to California instead, I was super keen because it kind of brings back the fact that I didn't get to finish my American endeavors with the Contender series, and I went over for my media and my all my medicals and all that sort of stuff. So I got to make the trip over there. I got a little taste of it. I was really keen on going back to that culture and that environment and proving myself there, but then it kind of got pulled away from me. So I was like, I had my flights booked and everything, and I didn't get to go. So now this time, I know that, cross my fingers and touch wood, but I know that we will make it over there again, and I'll get to do what I wanted to do and what my plans were maybe like 7 months ago. So that'd be awesome.
You said earlier that, you know, when you were preparing for the Contender series, like, you know, the weight cut and, you know, all these other, you know, things that were happening around you, going through that, you know, and then you got to travel all the way across the world. Since you went through it already, now it's like, okay, I know what I did wrong. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, 100%. Not only that, but I'm at featherweight again, so it's a lot more comfortable weight for me. I'm less stressed, and stress makes a mad difference on camp and your mentality and everything like that. And now I know what kind of flying time I'm looking at, and the difference in climates and all that sort of stuff. It's all like now expected rather than unexpected, and I think I'm a lot more prepared for it, and it will make a massive difference. Yeah.
This is your first fight at featherweight. So is this the plan? Like, you're going to stay at this weight class?
Yeah, well, for the next 5 fights, definitely. I fought Arlene at featherweight, and then there's been a couple of catch weights in my history and stuff like that. But and like my Hong Kong fight ended up being at featherweight because it was on late notice, and then that got a little bit mixed around as well. So featherweight isn't. I don't feel small for featherweight. I don't feel uncomfortable for featherweight. I don't feel like I'm like not meant to be in the division. So I'm pretty happy with being at featherweight. The pros and cons, obviously, as you sum up, when changing weight divisions, obviously is always something that you have to take in consideration. But for me, featherweight is really good, positive thing for my next 5 fights, and then maybe after those 5, we'll reassess and see where I'm at and see what kind of changes my body's made after those camps.
Yeah, your opponent coming up, Amber Leibrock, she is an Invicta veteran. Just like you, all of her wins are knockouts. What
Yeah.
do you expect from her? Do you expect like a stand-up battle, or what are you thinking?
To be honest, it could go either way. I think I know she's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu as well, so that definitely doesn't cancel out the whole ground game and taking it to the floor. But I hope that we stand for a little bit. That's my place that I love to be. I think it makes a good fight as well, and I think both of us have KO and TKO wins. That makes for a really good battle, and I think for a Bellator debut, we're both debuting. She didn't get to debut in the past, so this will be really good for both of us to put on a show. And I think like stand-ups right at where it's at for both of us, and maybe the different styles will create a really good performance.
Your training camp for this fight has been with Australian Top Team. Why did you decide to do your camp there, and who have you been working with closely?
Um, in the last like couple of years, I've always kind of known the guys since I fought Jessie. To be honest, they cornered against me. She was at Top Team when we fought, and then ever since, as that's how it goes usually with the Australian MMA scene, you all become friends, and we all stayed in contact. And then, especially on my endeavors towards Thailand, they were close with me because they have a very good relationship with Tiger Muay Thai, and so there was a lot of times that I got to continuously train with them and keep up to date with what they were doing. They kept up to date with where I was at in my style and all that sort of stuff. So I thought the best option was to come back to Sydney and come train with them and they took me in, and obviously I trusted all the guys there because I know everyone. I'm super familiar with everyone, so it was a perfect, easy transition. It wasn't like going to a whole new brand new gym, and being unfamiliar and uncomfortable. So since that, I've been working with Saman and Ash, and they've been helping me a lot along the way. And Alex Georges will be most likely coming over with me to America. So we've always like gone back and forth on our styles. We love striking as well, and he's such a awkward and unorthodox person, but is a mad geek about MMA. So it's going to be really positive for me to work with those guys and have them constantly giving me critique. It's been really awesome.
All right, May 12th, Bellator 199 in San Jose, California. Janay Harding making your Bellator debut. It's going to be, I believe this is a good matchup. Like overall, the way that they set it up, where both you guys are debuting and you guys both have all knockout wins, it's going to be exciting. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.